Let me just save you a quick therapy session. You are fine. Nobody thinks you were acting wild last night. You were actually hilarious, and you were actually the life of the party. And move on. Yesterday is yesterday. Today is today. It's a brand new day. Stop letting your ego tell you that you acted weird last night, because you didn't.
As I started healing my body and things that were going on in my gut, in my nervous system, my anxiety started to heal itself. So the mind-body connection is so real. And as you start taking care of yourself in a better, more feminine, mindful way, I think your anxiety will heal as well. We start every episode with the CELE scoop. So I have a couple quick questions for my girl.
Hit me.
Right now, what is your go-to cocky?
It never ceases to change, which is a good thing because it means I didn't overdo it. Grey Goose Cosmo all the way.
If you don't know what a cocky is, it's a cocktail. At CELE, cocktails are cockies.
Yeah.
So
Or Mockies.
go-to cocky is a Casamigos Cosmo. It makes me just really feel like a 90s baby. I love the glass, or like a tequila soda when I'm really being healthy biohacking Meg.
For me, I kind of feel like a MILF when I have a Cosmo in hand. Like, I feel like
Yes.
I'm on Sex in the City, channeling my 55-year-old's future energy, living in a high-rise.
Yeah, and I've also really heard that Cosmos are aging us because Gen Z is not into the Cosmos.
What are they into?
Honestly, I think they're not really into drinking.
Oof.
From what I hear. All right.
Wow.
Yeah, honestly, good for them, and I love that era too.
Me too.
Next CELE scoop. Do you have a moment lately where you felt really confident socially?
I would actually, dare I say, I felt more confident on this podcast than I ever could have predicted. And
dare I say, I agree with you. You've been crushing.
I did not anticipate that, y'all. I did not anticipate that, but I will say I did, leading up to this, I've done a lot of deep inner work, but also just letting shit go, okay? Sometimes you sit in the judgment and you let it take you down. Mm-hmm. We're not doing that anymore.
It's not that serious.
It's not that serious. So
even if saying that to myself 5,000 times a day.
Yesterday, and then me too.
5 seconds ago too. Whatever.
Yeah, so it's true. And I thought that I would think really hardcore on everything that I was going to say and just crush myself after I recorded these episodes and be like, why did you say that? Blah. And I haven't done that. So
no, you're natural. You're a star.
Woo, a star is born. What would you say? What's been a moment where you felt really confident socially recently?
I just got back from being gone from where I live in Miami for 2 months. And right when I got back, I just felt so refreshed and I was just feeling myself, had so much energy. And I just felt like in all my social interactions, like running into neighbors that I used to see all the time, running into everyone that I see around Brickell, I just felt so good because I was excited to be back and just feeling good inside myself.
A bitch is back.
A bitch
Girl,
is back.
People missed you. People missed you.
All my valet boyfriends, are we kidding?
They can't even believe. I'm so proud of you, by the way. Celebrate your friends. Megan just bought her first luxury car.
Well, I leased it, but it's still
doesn't
a
matter.
Big win. Yes.
Still the same. And Megan's valet boyfriends, they want a ride. Have you given anyone a ride yet?
No.
You haven't even given me a ride.
No, honestly, I've barely even driven it myself because I've been so busy since I got it. But I am excited to get it because Carly used to call my old car the clunker. And when she started calling it that, I got the ick so badly that I'm like, all right, I need to do whatever I can to up-level my automobile situation immediately. So thank you for that push.
Okay, well, how does your confidence feel now that you're rolling up in that bad boy?
I would love to say I'm more confident in this car, but I'm honestly not a good driver. So I'm a little, not that I want to put that label on myself and limit myself, but I'm a little bit more timid on the road right now because it's so new, it's so fresh, I don't want to mess it up.
I was a little confused the other day when you didn't roll up driving it. She felt so timid by her driving skills that she decided to put her bestie in in the driver's seat, and she got here safely.
That's what you call responsible driving, because my friend picked me up from a dinner celebrating my friend's engagement. And I had a couple cockies, so we thought it was the best move for Odyssey to drive.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Spreading the power of responsible
I'm growing
driving
up.
over
I'm
here.
almost 30. It's not
Almost
a joke out
30.
here anymore.
So
Okay.
today,
Yeah.
we're going to talk about something that really lands close to both of our hearts, and it's social anxiety.
And it
It's real.
sucks.
It sucks. We don't celebrate her. We don't love her, but we
We
do feel
acknowledge
it.
her.
We do
We
feel
kind of
it.
accept her.
We accept her. Social anxiety kind of hit for me when it was probably mid 20s. I started to realize, I'm feeling a little anxious when I love going out with my friends, and there was a time where I started to not love it anymore. And I started to just feel a little anxious. Don't even talk to me about networking events. I do not step foot in them anymore because I'm so anxious. But what I started to realize was I was called shy growing up. So I had this whole identity that I was the shy girl. I was the shy girl. And it's really real. Like, be mindful of what you say to your children. Because I will tell you, literally, when I was in preschool, the preschool teacher pulled my mom aside and said, "You shouldn't call her shy."
Your
And
mom told you that?
yeah.
Wow.
And so I really did start to bring that identity on. I fought it for a while, and I really started to almost victimize myself because being a business owner, I started to really associate extroverts with more confidence. They're more successful. Why can't I be like that? And what did that do for myself? Let's just say absolutely nothing. It took me on a journey of really figuring out who I was and embracing and finding ways to love the more introverted, relaxed, peaceful version of myself. By the way, I don't think you saw this, but earlier today I saw there's a new
Yeah.
Otrovert. That's definitely me, which is like you're
I
in
didn't
the
look at the
middle.
definition though. Otrovert is the word that
Otrovert.
Carly sent me.
So it's
What
probably
is
going to be
it?
trending. But basically, it's you're right in the middle. So you actually love and get filled up by things like this, you get energized by things like this, but you also really need time alone. And so it's
Yeah.
right in the middle.
I mean, I've heard that people naturally are all extroverted and introverted, but it's your childhood and your trauma that puts you so extreme in one category or the other.
I
Which
believe
kind of
that.
resonates with me because almost opposite of you, growing up, I feel like people are like, "You're so bubbly. You are so outgoing." So then as I had this little anxious phase that I had, or like I'm still in and out of my anxious phase right now, in my
Me too,
20s,
girl.
it was a lot of judgment because I was like, oh my gosh, growing up, everyone always thought I was this bubbly, so easy to talk to, so outgoing. And this did not align with the label that I had for myself. So it was like inner turmoil. Why am I
Yeah,
experiencing this anxiety? So these labels that we put on ourselves when we were younger really impacted our
that's
social
why we're
anxiety as we're older.
friends. Because you're bubbly, I'm bubbly too. And
You're bubbly as fuck. I
I
feel
didn't
like you
even
don't
know what
give
that meant.
yourself bubbly credit.
I didn't even know what that meant till recently.
Bubbly?
Yeah.
That's so interesting because I actually want to say when I was growing up in a small town in Connecticut, of course, I'm sure people around me had anxiety, but until I went to college, I remember one of my best friends saying I'm anxious. And I specifically remember asking her, what is that? Like, I had never heard of it growing up.
Yeah.
And and then all of a sudden, everyone was talking about being anxious. And it was just such a common
There's a
thing.
wave.
But
You were the it girl if
I
you were
didn't know.
anxious.
And then a couple of years after, and I was like, wait, if you're anxious, that's fine. Just like shut it off, ignore it, have a drink, go for a walk.
Yeah.
And then when I really felt anxious for the first time, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, I was like, oh my God, this is freaking real. This isn't like a
This
walk it
sucks.
off situation.
Nope.
This is of me feeling so freaking weird in a conversation
And
with
awkward.
someone. So awkward. I can't think of one thing to say.
And it's literally not even that it's like you're lacking a connection with the person. You're just so deep in your own thoughts and head that you can't even grasp what to say. I gotta shout out Alex
It's
Earl
not funny.
because Alex Earl really made me feel seen in this last year. She shared a time where she was literally having a panic attack at the US Open and had to lay on the bathroom floor. And I think that's so real. Like we have to give ourselves grace. Everybody experiences it at some point or another. And I think one of the things that's really helped me though, especially recently, let's talk about catching ourselves before we fall too deep into it again, right? Because now that we have identified it, we know what it's like, we know what it is when we're experiencing it. Something that has helped me that I wish I kind of knew sooner is literally just to acknowledge that it's occurring, sit in it, but don't sit in it for too freaking long. Like I, in the past, gave it so much power and seasons where it almost was reinforcing it. I'll be transparent. It was reinforcing it because
Yeah.
and there's a balance of giving yourself grace and taking time off, because Megan and I are both testaments to say we encourage, if you're feeling like you need a moment, take a moment, tap out, maybe don't do all the social outings for a little while. But recently I've realized, sitting in it and labeling it, it can really reinforce it and make it even worse. And I think such a beautiful paradigm shift I've experienced in the last year is realizing that it's kind of selfish to continue to sit in it for too long,
Yeah, I think it could also become a habit.
It can definitely
For
become a habit.
me, last year I went a little hermit mode when I was resetting some things in my life, and I hermited a little too hard.
Hermit
And
too
I
hard.
was just loving being in my own space, in my own energy. And then when I went back out into the social world, it was
Yeah.
the social anxiety was creeping out a little bit. And I think if you get in the habit of just being a homebody, chilling in yourself, the social anxiety can creep in, but you got to push through that because
You
we are
gotta.
not meant to be living in our apartment as a freaking hermit, living in a red light mask, even if you think it's anti-aging. There's more to life than your self-care wellness routine. You got to get yourself out there and you got
You
to get
gotta.
past the social anxiety one way or
Or another.
another.
I will say too, just to really paint the picture, sweet loving Megan moved to
Sweet,
Miami
loving
to
Megan.
live her best life in the heart of Brickell, 40 floors above, and she was
I'm
hermiting.
getting a really
But
painted picture right now.
but let me ask you, Megan, because there was a reason why you needed that time. Looking back now, what do you think is the best piece of wisdom that you gained from taking that time to go inward?
Personally, from my own life experience, if you really want to change who you are at a core level, you kind of need to do that in private. Like you
Yeah, you
gotta
do.
like
Yeah.
get in it in the work, and I needed to do that
Yeah.
because I was stuck in some cycles and some patterns that really weren't serving me anymore. So one, it's like don't be scared to go internal. And then what? And then the other end of that is like don't take it too far,
Yeah.
where you're just like a total hermit away from society.
It's really real. And like anything, we've been talking a lot lately about balance. You can do too much of something and you have to learn the hard way. And I will definitely be happy to talk about my experience with leveraging alcohol as a social lubricant in college. Megan and I both went to the University of Tampa, and drinking was a massive part of our society in college. And at that time, I actually didn't really struggle with leveraging that for confidence and leveraging it to overcome social anxiety. It really wasn't until I was going through a season where I lost myself after a job that I just wasn't happy in, that I really lost track of my soul and my spark. And after that, in this job, partying was a massive part of it. We were in direct sales. So partying, finding your clients while you were out at the bar, that became a really big pattern for all of us. And then I started to take that into different times in my life in my mid-20s. And so I realized, though, I think it's so important to pull yourself back from that. And I realized, if that's I love like having a coffee. Megan and I love it. That's a big reason we started CELE as well, because we both have different sides of our personalities that we love and adore, and we love to have fun and have a beverage and connect deeply on a deeper level. And then we also really love self-care and we love growing and becoming the best versions of ourselves. And there was times where I realized, you know what? This anxiety that I'm feeling on a Sunday, crippling anxiety, is not worth it. Is not worth it. And so if you are feeling that, maybe you're feeling that in this moment, we would love for this podcast to help you overcome that, because I've definitely been there where I felt alone in it. You're
Yeah.
not alone.
Yeah, and I know for me personally, like I said, I always labeled myself as this kind of outgoing and also positive, happy person. So in my 20s, as anxiety came, as I experienced anxiety for the first time, that was a big hit to my ego. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what? Like, I'm not someone who has anxiety. I'm this happy, positive person. This isn't me. And it was this whole inner drama that I created, but it's so common. So many people experience it. And when you add the drama of self-judgment on top of it, it just makes it so much worse. So just acknowledge it. Try to
So
give
much
yourself
worse.
the benefit of the doubt, which I'm also saying to myself as well, because I do tend to be very hard on myself. And the less internal drama you have over it, the quicker it goes away. Do you feel that as well?
It's so true. Let me just save you a quick therapy session. You are fine. Nobody thinks you were acting wild last night. You were actually hilarious and you were actually the life of the party. And move on. Yesterday is yesterday. Today is today. It's a brand new day. It's just all about forward momentum. Stop letting your ego tell you that you acted weird last night because you didn't. You absolutely didn't. You were a
Yes.
blast.
Oh my gosh. And when I was studying abroad, someone taught me the noon rule.
Ooh, let's hear it.
So you go out at night after noon, 12 p.m. the next day, you cannot speak, think, judge yourself for anything that happened the night before or your friends. So it's noon rule. You
Boom.
could recap at brunch. When it hits noon, we're
No
on to the
more.
next day. That's
On to
just
the
a good
next.
way to kind of live your life in general, anyways.
It's
The
a
noon
great
rule.
way. It's a great way to live your life. And like sitting in that social anxiety, anxiety, whatever it is not helping you accomplish the purpose that you have on earth. Like straight up. Literally it's literally making it so you can't move forward and it's making it so you can't help people and that's making your life worthless. So move on, leave it in the past.
But sometimes you just can't. Sometimes
Sometimes
you
you just
just
freaking can't.
can't move on. So what do you
Sometimes you
do in
can't.
those times? When you're just like,
I
shit,
well,
I'm in it.
I have been there many times. And literally in that moment, once you literally change the paradigm, it's selfish to keep obsessing with it. You're not helping anyone or yourself. So get the fuck out of that mindset and move on and leave it in the past. It doesn't define you. If you don't want to act like that anymore, then just don't act like that. Don't put yourself in those
Boom.
settings.
I've learned a lot of times, which is something that you might want to look into if you're someone who's experiencing anxiety, is I never had anxiety issues until I had a lot of gut issues going on. So as I started healing my body and things that were going on in my gut, in my nervous system, my anxiety started to heal itself. So the mind body connection is so real. And as you start taking care of yourself in a better, more feminine, mindful way, I think your anxiety will heal as well because that's been my experience. And then also another piece of advice is as I've healed my inner talk and I am so committed, I am listening to my positive affirmations, loop affirmations of me just saying positive things to myself all the time. And as that's really started to change my thoughts and my subconscious thoughts and what just goes through my mind, I noticed that things that might have used to make me feel anxious or things that might have used to make me feel uncomfortable, I just don't feel that anymore because I have this comfort within myself. I'm not looking to seek comfort from a social outing. I'm good within
Yeah.
me, and if it's a little weird, it's a little weird at the social outing and whatever, and I get to just go home and feel good in me because that's the environment that I'm creating internally.
Yeah, the self-talk can really bring you up or bring you down. And there's different seasons for all of it, us with it. Sometimes we have a beautiful self-talk. We love ourselves inward
Yeah.
internally, but other times she will get the best of you.
Oh
And
yeah. My
yeah.
self-talk could be a bitch like
Yeah.
yesterday. So it's a
Yeah.
work in progress, but the
It's a work in
better you just
progress.
have to work on it. It has to be positive and loving most of the time, and you're going to be in the right path.
Exactly. And one other thing I did want to mention as well that I kind of forgot was so I used to really resist being a little bit more introverted. And I kind of mentioned that earlier. I really admired extroverts. But now, when I feel a little bit of discomfort creep in those social settings, I remind myself there is strengths in being an introvert. And whether that's you being an amazing listener and not cutting people off, just being a good listener and then responding with ease, that is such a strength. And you don't have to be the loudest. You really do not.
No.
So you don't have to be the loudest to be seen at all.
No.
At all. So that's one
Big
of the
dick
biggest
energy
things.
is real, and those are the quiet, confident people.
True. That's
Exactly.
true.
So what would you say are the top things in your anxiety toolkit? When you need a
For
reset, when you're just in it and
yeah.
you have to do something social and you have to get out of
Yeah.
it as best you can.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I wish that I connected with sooner is my faith. Honestly, 2025, across the board, my life has expanded drastically. Like, we are talking big
It's changed a
leaps,
lot.
big leaps. And my faith was always there, but she wasn't put at the front. So every single day, I put my faith first. When fear creeps in, I replace it with faith. When I'm feeling awkward, I remind myself I'm not alone because I have Jesus, and He literally gave His life for me. So there's no point in feeling awkward because I get the opportunity every single day to live this life free of the negativity, free of the fear, free of my past.
Yeah.
And so that's been the biggest tool that was missing. I have done life coaching, I have done therapy. The biggest thing every single day now is just putting my faith first. What would you say has been the biggest tool for you?
For me, if I'm in a situation where I'm feeling really anxious and I need to get myself out there anyways, it's like I've been coming back to over and over. It's listening to my affirmations of my own voice, telling me the empowering things that I want to hear, and just playing that on my phone because those probably are not the thoughts that are naturally rolling through my mind at that moment, and they start to shift those. And then also, I saw this post a couple of years ago that said, don't believe any of your anxious thoughts that you think when you're inside. I have an amazing balcony. So if I'm ever just in my
Ooh,
condo, I'm feeling anxious,
go
whatever
outside.
it is, and I go outside, usually those thoughts start to lift. So it's like getting out of your just home, getting outside, getting into the world, whether it's me being on my balcony and just noticing nature around me, or me going for a walk is also so helpful too. And then loop affirmations, just cannot recommend them enough.
Yeah, I think it's just getting out of that head, getting out of the
Out of the
head.
head and into the body.
Yep. Out of the
Amazing.
head, into the body, into the heart. I think we should end with a little CELE chat. What do you think?
Yes, pull one first.
All right. Self-love club. When do you feel most empowered and in your element? I have to say, I believe that I feel the most empowered and in my element when I am supporting a close friend through a difficult season. When they come to me and they are just really needing some guidance, I feel so empowered to be a space of non judgment, of compassion, of empathy, of love and kindness. And I
Yeah.
love seeing them come home to themselves pretty quickly
Yeah.
after a nice, deep conversation.
You always give such good, grounded, non judgmental guidance. So I could see why that just makes you,
Aw.
it fills you up and it just comes so natural to you to be that friend to people.
Thank you for saying that. I love
I
to be
really
that
mean
for
it.
you, and I'm grateful that you are that for me.
You give it to me constantly.
Woo! Sounded like a fart.
What is your
Whoops.
favorite thing about your current mindset or outlook on life? My favorite thing about my current outlook on life is that what is for me is not going to pass me. So I
Ooh.
really don't feel too much pressure on anything. If something works out, whether it's business wise, relationship wise, whatever, that's amazing. If it doesn't, I know something's better. Something better is on the way. And I think that really comes back to just having faith in a higher power and just in myself as well. So that's something that I've really embodied in the past year. And it's taken so much pressure off. And taking pressure off really helps with anxiety as well.
It really does. Sometimes that's just the magic trick right there.
Yeah, like what
Eliminate
can
the
I take
pressure.
off my plate? Where can
Yeah.
I take a little pressure off myself? Where am I holding on with such a tight grip that I could let go a little bit?
That reminds me of when I was in that job and I would not quit. I was holding such a tight grip and I should have taken it as all these red flags, all of this anxiety that I'm feeling, waking up at the time that I have to wake up. It's not for me. So I should have let the grip
Yeah.
off faster, but it worked out the way I
Yeah,
needed to.
and that's a really good reframe that I want to say is my last thought. I think we are here to feel really good in our lives. And if something in your life is making you really anxious or making you feel really off, that's a sign that it's not for you and life is trying to guide you in a different direction. So rather than looking at anxiety as this bad thing that you're battling, seeing it as a guide that's guiding you to where you're actually supposed to be, that makes you feel good and empowered and aligned.
That was so beautiful. I couldn't have said that better myself. So thank you for leaving all of that with us, Megan. And Thank you for tuning in to the CELE Chats podcast. Girls, if you ever need support with working through the anxiety, if you're feeling alone, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We love you, and thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Yes, and you could find CELE Chats at letscele.com, the best conversation game for deepening your conversations at happy hour, at brunch, on your couch with the girls, or at any hangout.